So we've got a real nail-biter of a Champions League match to dissect today. Brugge versus Atalanta. A controversial ending, to say the least.
Yeah, a real heart stopper. Atalanta felt robbed, and you can see why.
Robbed. Sounds dramatic. What happened exactly?
Late penalty call, highly debatable, to say the least.
Right. Let's dive into this and see if we can figure out what all the fuss is about. So give me the lowdown. What was the game like?
Brugge came out strong, really aggressive. Zukla scored a great goal early on.
An early goal always sets the tone, doesn't it?
Exactly. Atalanta struggled initially, but Pasalic equalized with a beautiful header.
A classic header, huh? Nice.
Yeah, a real screamer. Then the second half was a back-and-forth affair. Lots of chances for both sides. It was pretty wild.
Any other key moments before the controversial penalty?
Brugge had a couple of huge chances they missed. Atalanta also had some near misses. De Ketelaere had a shot that almost went in. It was close.
So it was a pretty even match then?
Pretty much, yeah. Could have gone either way until that late penalty.
And that's where things get interesting. Tell me about this penalty.
Hyen, the Atalanta defender, had minimal contact with Nilsson. The ref called a penalty and VAR didn't overturn it. Can you believe it?
Minimal contact? Sounds like a soft penalty. Really soft one.
Exactly. Atalanta were furious. Gasparini was livid. It was a very contentious decision. A bad one.
I can imagine. A late penalty like that can change everything. It really can. The article mentions Atalanta were missing several key players. Did that impact their performance?
Definitely. They were without Ruggeri, Lookman, Maldini, Kolasinac, Kasunu, Scalvini, and Scamacca. Carnesecchi was also unwell. A lot of injuries.
Wow, that's a significant number of absences. A weakened squad for sure.
Exactly. It made their task even harder. Much harder.
How does Brugge been playing lately?
They've had a decent run. Beat Aston Villa and Sporting in the group stage, held Juventus to a draw, lost to Milan while down to 10 men. A mixed bag.
So a mixed bag of results, but still a formidable opponent.
Definitely. They're a tough team to beat at home. Very tough.
What was the atmosphere like after the final whistle?
Tense. Understandably so. Atalanta were furious, and there was some post-match tension. A lot of tension.
Not surprising given the circumstances. A controversial ending always leads to some heated emotions. Let's recap the final score and some key player stats.
Brugge won 2-1. Uegla and Nilsson scored for Brugge, Pasalic for Atalanta. The possession was pretty even, around 54% to 46%. Shots on target were also close. A very close game.
So a close game decided by a controversial call. A real shame for Atalanta. A real shame. What are fans saying about the match?
The comments section is a mix of opinions. Some think it was a clear penalty, others disagree. A lot of anger from Atalanta fans, understandably. Very understandably.
It's always interesting to see the different perspectives. It really is. So overall, what's your take on the match?
A very close and exciting game marred by a questionable refereeing decision. Atalanta played well despite their injury problems, but that penalty cost them dearly. It really did.
A real injustice then?
It certainly felt that way for Atalanta fans. Absolutely.
What does this mean for the second leg?
Atalanta have a mountain to climb. They need to win by at least 2 goals to progress. It's going to be a tough ask. A very tough ask.
A difficult but not impossible task. It'll be a fascinating match to watch. Should we discuss the referee's performance more? The refereeing, I mean.
The penalty decision overshadowed everything else. It was a poor call that had a huge impact on a game. It's hard to ignore. Very hard.
It certainly leaves a sour taste in the mouth. A very sour taste. So a controversial end to a tight match. A real talking point for football fans.
Absolutely. A game that will be remembered for the wrong reasons. Definitely. A real shame for Atalanta.
That was a great discussion. Thanks for your insights.